Why does anyone even get married?
Because they're lonely. And because they're hopeful.
The Materialists is a very interesting film because it has all the elements to be a great film, but they come at it in the wrong order and it ends up bad. The premise is simple and not unfamiliar to the rom-com genre. A matchmaker in New York City finds she can't match herself perfectly, but then ends up running into a few people that maybe make it more possible. With an all-star cast and a director coming off of an Oscar-nominated turn as a director and screenwriter, there's a lot of optimism surrounding this project. In a certain sense, it fulfills what it promises, in that it's kind of basically charming and you get to see a bunch of famous people you think are attractive kind of just be fun and charming and interesting. But as a movie and as just an experience, it wasn't that great, which is a shame. Audiences are going to come away from this feeling like it's like a 5 out of 10, 8 at the very most, and probably not even that. It does separate itself from most rom-coms by actually having a bold directorial style, and how it looks, and how long scenes take, and how the performances come across. It feels very different from overproduced comedies and overproduced romantic dramas. There's a lot of restraint, and there's a lot of deliberate choice about how to present things that is courageous and interesting to see. But that's the best that can be said about it, because the rest of it isn't great. The hook is one that surely anyone would be able to get behind, having to choose between Chris Evans, Captain America himself, and Pedro Pascal, the Mandalorian. But a drawback of the sparse style described is that it's so sparse you don't feel like you're really talking to a real person or witnessing a real person. Motivations are vague or they're elusive. Motivations exist, but you don't really see them propelling people all the time. It has almost a music video quality where things are so vague that you just kind of have to imply them, even if you can't imply successfully. This film is arguably a huge victim of what you might call overcasting, which is what happens when you hire a top of the A-list actor who will definitely sell the movie, make sure it makes money, but who oddly, as a result of their being such a big star, don't actually have the qualities that help them fit this better. Pedro Pascal and Chris Evans are two of the most bankable, sellable movie stars ever, but the fact that they are that makes it impossible to take them seriously as humble romantic leads. Chris Evans is allegedly some struggling actor when he's like the most handsome man ever. Pedro Pascal is somehow a humble bachelor despite being, both in real life and especially within the story, the most eligible man ever. And most damningly, everyone seems to be acting like they're in their 30s when we can all see manifestly that Chris Evans and Pedro Pascal are in their 40s. The end result is a kind of unbearable disparity where you can tell something's wrong even if no one's saying it out loud. But that thing, even if it's small, is so affecting that you can't really take anything seriously. The film, as the title shows, wants to be a cynical and intelligent reflection on how matchmaking can be so mercenary and searching for a partner can be so mercenary. People reduce their desired qualities into numbers instead of feelings. And it does that to an extent. But the end result of everything discussed is that no one feels like a real person, and the emotional weight of everything discussed, of connection, of stability, of love, of romance, is gone. In sticking to such a sparse style, it divorced itself from real life, and the complications of romance and romantic drama and romantic comedy are all about the complications of real life. As it stands, Materialists is at best an inoffensive vehicle for its stars, and an okay follow-up effort from the director. There's plenty here that's interesting, it just wasn't able to be fully realized this time around. But there's a hint of greatness that just wasn't fully realized, and hopefully we'll see more in the future.